guys all the time.
We are family.
Outstanding effort again.
We're busting ours to kick yours.
That's big time.
-15.
Respect all, fear none.
Oh, did he belt that one?
Intensity is not a perfume.
It was a no-doubter.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Orioles Hot Stove Show on MASN All Access is brought to you by your Baltimore area Toyota dealers. For legendary safety and reliability, choose Toyota and let's go places. Hey everyone, I'm Brendan Mortensen. Welcome into our first Hot Stove Show of 2024. Thanks for starting off your new year with us. Now, the hot stove has been not so warm for the Orioles since the addition of Craig Kimbrell. They brought in some bullpen help in the form of Jonathan Heasley, could be a spring training camp kind of guy. But if you're waiting for the shoe to drop on a new starting pitcher, that shoe is still kind of dangling precariously there. Haven't seen the Orioles make any moves yet. The rest of the AL East, though, has been a little bit busier. We'll start with the Boston Red Sox, who had a shakeup in their starting rotation, made some moves there. First with the trade of Chris Sale goes to Atlanta, and they get back Vaughn Grissom, who was the Braves' seventh-ranked prospect in 2022. He has shown some solid flashes in the big leagues at just 22 years old. And, of course, they brought in Lucas Giolito to solidify that rotation as well. Just a .488 ERA last season, pitching on 3 different teams. He's still just 29 years old, though, had some really great stretches in Chicago. Elsewhere, you saw Isaiah Kiner-Falefa to the Toronto Blue Jays. Didn't have a great stretch in New York for the Yankees, looking for a fresh start there. And then the Yankees add some bullpen help in the form of Cody Morris. So not huge moves in the AL East, but the rest of those teams have been active. And you know the Orioles have a huge task ahead of them for the 2024 season, trying to keep up with the Joneses. Those are all going to be competitive teams with playoff aspirations going into the 2024 season. But if you're looking at the trade market, we know the Orioles can win just about any bidding war that's out there, whether it's for a guy like Dylan Cease or Jesus Luzardo. And that's due in large part to the talent down on the farm, not just drafting high-quality guys, but developing them as well. And the guy at the helm of that development over the last few years has been Matt Blood. And we were able to catch up with him at winter meetings and asked him about his new role.
Well, when I first got here, the job was hiring and bringing in a lot of good people and setting up a system for development. And I think we've been able to do that well. We have a great staff and really good processes. And I think the same is true on the domestic scouting side. And so I'm really just hoping to get to know them even better than I currently do and just continue the success that they've been having, since I got here.
Matt, obviously the scouting has been tremendous for the Orioles to get the #1 farm system in Major League Baseball and be so deep, and year after year it seems there's been some really good hits. Without giving all your secrets away, what are some of the things that have made the Orioles so good in scouting and getting players from the amateur?
It's interesting. Good scouting usually helps make good player development, and good player development usually helps make good scouting. And I think what I'm saying is that the two are very aligned. Mm-hmm. And I think that will just continue to be the case now in this new role for myself. But we're all on the same page and we're all working towards the same goals. We're acquiring players that the organization values, both on scouting and player development. And I think that's one of the reasons why you're seeing a lot of success there.
And with the #1 farm system in baseball, obviously a lot of things have been working for you guys organizationally down at the minor league level. How do you ensure that you're always staying one step ahead of the industry when you've been trying to advance so much?
Well, that's a job that can't be done by one person. Player development is a huge department, and so the goal is to hire just a lot of really good, smart, humble people that want to learn and work together. And they're the ones who push the innovations, to be honest. And I just sort of sit back and push them along and let them create things that I never could have thought of.
So 3 straight years, the Orioles have the #1 prospect in Major League Baseball in Adley, Gunnar, Jackson Holliday. When I ask top analysts from around various publications, they use words like amazing, incredible, maybe even unprecedented. What do you say about it?
I think it's really cool. I mean, that's really what we're striving to do, is acquire and develop great talent. And we've been able to do that. And, we've got others too. Those three names are great names, but there's a pretty deep system underneath there. And who says we can't try to do that 4 times? We'll see.
So a few of those guys in Adley Rutschman and Gunnar Henderson, they've helped push the Orioles to 101 win season. They've opened up a window for winning here. Does that change any sort of philosophies down at the minor league level? Is there any sort of pressure to maybe advance guys to try to get them to the big league level to help out any sooner, or do things kind of stay consistent there regardless of what the big league
I think we follow our process. Our job is to develop players, and they let you know when they're ready for a challenge, and that's why we move players, is when they've sort of shown that they need a greater challenge than where they currently are. So we're not gonna change that philosophy. We want to maximize each player's ability, and that's really the job.
Matt, tell us a little bit about Anthony Villa. I know he is going to join you as heading up player development. This guy you hired in 2020, rapidly rising through the ranks, great hitting coach, and now you and he running player development.
I've known Anthony a long time. He's one of the first people that we hired, whenever we got to the Orioles. And I've been working closely with him for 4 years now, actually 5 years. And he's a great individual. He's made great relationships with the players and with the other coaches. He's an expert on practice design. And honestly, I think he's going to make us even better in this role than where we were before.
Now, we can't really do an interview talking about the Orioles minor league system without asking you a question about Jackson Holliday. He said at the beginning of the year his goal was get to AA Bowie. He surpassed that. Did his season surprise you at all, or did you know he had this kind of upside there?
We knew how sort of unique and advanced he was. I don't know if I would have bet on him making it to Norfolk in that season, but I also am not surprised by it. And he's just a great kid who loves baseball. It's really all he thinks about, and we're very lucky to have him in our organization.
So, Matt, what do the Orioles do to keep their farm system number one?
Well, I think we keep doing what we've been doing, which is drafting well and developing well. I think we can do that no matter where we draft. And then also, Mike and Mike are phenomenal at acquiring talent. Whether it's through the draft or through trades or the free agent market. And so I think we'll just continue to look for ways to find talent and then maximize their ability through our development system.
The Orioles Hot Stove Show on MASN All Access is brought to you by your Baltimore area Toyota dealers. For legendary safety and reliability, choose Toyota, and let's go places. Well, hey, Orioles fans, don't miss out as the Birdland Caravan is officially making its return this year. The 4-day winter tour will take place from Thursday, January 25th to Sunday, January 28th. More details, including events, locations, and confirmed attendees, will be announced at a later date. Now, during last year's Birdland Caravan, Orioles players and front office members made 15 stops in 12 cities and brought the magic of Orioles baseball straight to the fans. Now, as we mentioned off the top of the show, the Orioles have yet to make that big trade that a lot of fans are looking for, maybe for a starting pitcher. So as we currently stand, none of the prospects that are making noise at AAA Norfolk have been moved, which means as we stand right now, if we were going into spring training, there would be a heck of a lot of competition for some spots on that 26-man opening day roster. As we take a look here, probably the top place where you're going to see a lot of competition is the infield. Of course, you have the #1 overall prospect in baseball in Jackson Holliday. He's going to get a starting job whenever he comes up to the bigs. It's just a matter of, is it opening day or is it later on in the season? You've got a couple of guys in Joey Ortiz and Connor Norby who have spent full minor league seasons at AAA Norfolk. They certainly look ready to make an impact. Then, of course, you can't forget about Kobe Mayo, who's going to be one of the top prospects in baseball next year. They're competing with guys like Ramon Arias and Jorge Mateo. And then in the outfield, two guys that we already saw in the big leagues last year in Colton Cowser and Heston Kjerstad. Ryan McKenna, we know what his role has been for Brandon Hyde. And hey, don't forget about Kyle Stowers. Had a sneaky solid year with the Tides last season. And then you've got Tyler Wells, DL Hall, and Cole Irvin, who could all be vying for that 5th spot in the starting rotation, as the Orioles have not yet made a move for another starter there. And if you want a more in-depth look at those spring training competitions, make sure you're checking out the Bird's Nest. Me and Matt Bonaparte are live every Wednesday at 11 a.m., bringing you in-depth analysis of everything you need to know about the Orioles offseason. And if you can't catch us live on Facebook or YouTube, make sure you catch us after the fact on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Wherever you get your podcasts or digital shows, you can catch myself and Matt Bonaparte on the Bird's Nest. Now, in a farm system that is just absolutely loaded with talent, a lot of guys can get lost in the shuffle. And one guy that we don't talk about a ton, but maybe should, Dante Williams, a former 4th-round pick out of Arizona. He's made his way up to Double-A Bowie, struggled with the bat a little bit, but he gives you really solid defense in the outfield. Here's a closer look at Dante Williams.
How you guys doing? My name is Dante Williams. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm an outfielder. I've been playing baseball since I was 3 or 4 years old, so from a young age, probably about when I was 6 or 7, that's when I knew baseball was the dream of mine, and I wanted to go as far as I could in it. It's been fun. It's definitely been fun. A lot of ups and downs. It puts everything in a different perspective. A lot of things to be grateful about. You know, you meet a lot of people, relationships get deeper, and it's fun. I love what I do every day. I call myself a wizard out in center field.
Sending Dante Williams back. This ball is, oh, what a catch by the center fielder, Williams. Unbelievable.
I'm not sure how I do it, but I make a lot of good catches. I love to make my diving plays, cover robbed home runs. Just being out there to run around and being free and making plays and just seeing how happy guys are when I'm catching balls out there. That's what I love to do. I like to watch movies, hang out a little bit, play some video games with friends and family, playing Warzone or something, and probably going to get a bite to eat. Whatever people want to do, I'm always down to do that. It's a game of failures, and every day is a new day. Being able to give everything you got and being where your feet are and living in the moment is the biggest thing. The talent that goes through this org, just being able to just say I'm in the Baltimore Orioles organization is something that puts a smile on my face and it means a lot to me.
Well, that'll just about wrap things up here for the Orioles Hot Stove Show on MASN All Access. Make sure you're following along with all of our Orioles coverage all off-season long on our MASN Orioles social pages, MASNsports.com, and the MASN app. Big thank you to Matt Bonaparte and Bobby Blanco behind the scenes. I'm Brendan Mortensen, and we will catch you next time.